If you look in our history, we've talked about, our ancestors have talked about this in every country, in every religion. Everyone talks about this. They tell you to pay attention to the sky. They tell you to pay attention to the planet. They tell you it's going to happen.
Nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect my opinion, Dex's opinion, or anyone else who works with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. If you want to support the show in a different way, you can go to marfooglenews.com/VPN. Kishara, rabbit hole, theoretical origin of the destruction cycle, calling from Colorado. Kishara, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hi.
What? Just the description of your call has me intrigued. What's going on, Kishara, and what are we talking about here?
Well, with everything going on, it really got me to thinking about this 12,000-year destruction cycle this planet goes through. And I'm going to put this as
like Ice Age
in
Farmer,
many layman terms I can. Sorry, say that again.
Like what Ice Age Farmer and Suspicious Observers talk about. Is that kind of the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Yes, because it occurred to me that Earth doesn't randomly decide just kill everything. Yeah, it doesn't do that. So there's got to be a reason. And with what we're seeing with all of these black holes and micronovas and massive novas, supernovas, the whole thing. If you look into physics and astrophysics, you get into the center of the universe. Imagine it's like a large biological creature. Every 12,000 years, it has a heartbeat. Big creature, you know. So that heartbeat, that pulse that happens at the center of the universe, releases a massive energy wave. That energy wave, stars automatically, to protect themselves from an overload, will release a micronova so that they don't just explode into a black hole. This pattern has happened over the past 2 years. We've seen a huge increase in black holes, in micronovas, with them talking about other planets to go to, especially bigger ones. All of this is consistent with this energy wave, including plasma storms that have recently been talked about coming in, this solar activity we're seeing with 12 solar flares. Oh, and then there's 10 today. Aren't we supposed to be in solar minimum? Yeah, so
good question.
It got me to this whole thing. And I followed Velikovsky's theory, who did the electric universe. According to his theory and the evidence, our sun, Saturn, had a micronova, went back to planetary form 12,000 years ago. So if that was our sun, where did this sun come from?
Good point.
Now, if you go to Hopi stories and South American stories, they talk about a time when we had two suns in the sky, one that was dark and one that was bright. And the dark sun lost, and the bright sun became the new sun. That would mean our sun has only been here 12,000 years as we enter a micronova cycle. What if stars don't last millions of years in this galaxy? What if they only last 12,000 years?
Now, I get a lot of emails, especially Suspicious Observer believes that most of our disasters haven't been, related to other things. They've actually been related to kind of sun cycles, weather cycles, and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of people that have sent warnings saying that we are in this kind of time. I don't know, I'm not I'm a 100% believer that I know something massive is coming. I don't know if this is the way it's happening, but I do believe in myself that I know enough people up high are worried about it, then we should be worried about it. Why are they going to other planets?
this wouldn't make sense. Why? Because if you look in our history, we've talked about, our ancestors have talked about this in every country, in every religion. Everyone talks about this. They tell you to pay attention to the sky. They tell you to pay attention to the planet. They tell you it's going to happen. Do we need all of our history to, keep yelling at us, going, hey, maybe you should get ready? It's going to go down. I mean, even if you look at the Younger Dryas event, that was 2 back-to-back ice ages. If you go to 9,600 BC, there was a huge event that happened in which we lost land. New Zealand, most commonly known, back when it used to be Zealandia, was a continent. Now New Zealand is an island.
Well, that's pretty freaky. What about how Russia is making a new canal completely and cutting the ice? Do you think that they're doing that because quite possibly they are trying to predict not having one of the other canals, or opening that up because... And why are all of the elites building and buying these super billion-dollar super subs? We're talking about a secret thing that regular people don't even see. Actual submarines. Why are they all buying submarines that can stay out to shore there indefinitely? Is like 10 years supply of stuff can stay out in the water and not be harmed by anything. Are we going to have like another, biblical Noah type flood? Are the, coastlines going to change?
Yes. Potentially what you're looking at is a full crustal displacement, just like everyone's been talking about with the earthquakes and the volcanoes. We have the largest amount of volcanoes going off in history, in our recorded history, let's say. We have mass earthquake upticks. The plate is moving. This is what happens when the planet decides to shift, secular theory. So there's no way around it. Yes, the maps are going to change completely. Russia's canal is probably one of those rational bets. Look, Russia's in a pretty good spot. This stuff goes down, start looking at land masses that sit in center of plates. Russia is in an excellent position to survive this and become the new global power if they can pull up their infrastructure, because they're going to lose all their technology too. That's what has always happened. We lose our technology. One of the things I want to add into this is that scientists in Antarctica doing 2-3 year stints had severe damage to their hypothalamus due to ice age conditions. Your hypothalamus, which their shrank, controls your cognitive ability and your memories. As we've gone through this before, and our entire species has a severe amount of amnesia, this amnesia would be explained by this disaster cycle.
What a scary thought.
Now, one of the reasons the people with the elongated skulls were able to repopulate in different locations is because their bone density is thicker than ours. They would have been less affected than we will be. So people, please get your tin hats on. Now,
with
everything going on, historically, we've always survived this underground. That's why they're announcing these big, massive caverns they're discovering, these big underground oceans. Suddenly they're saying, there's structures down there. We call that a Gartha, people. They're starting to announce a Gartha to you guys. And water in the planet means it's a geode.
The Boring Company, Elon Musk. SpaceX to get off Earth, and the Boring Company to bore tunnels under Earth. Starlink,
because we need it
to defend against asteroids. That's why I say is he secretly trying to save the planet? Every one of his companies is contracted.
I think he's doing the best he can with circumstances. This is a lose-lose situation. Even in the past, when you look at cuneiform tablets, they couldn't save everyone. This is the same situation that the elites you talk about are facing. You can't save everyone. Who do you save?
About 1 million people. That's about it. If anybody on the planet was gone, that's how many people they say that SpaceX supposedly will get off the planet.
Plus arcs.
It is pretty...
And seed banks.
Yeah, and they're sending... It's really... Okay, so some people may be going, oh no, this is nuts. Look at what's actually happening. They're sending Noah's Arks of seeds to the moon. They're putting Noah's Arks of seeds and samples into the deep, deep, deep underground of Norway. Mm-hmm. It's really...
Sweden's Navy underground.
Oh, and then they have just put us all, the entire globe. Somehow they got the entire globe to agree on some, general rules on this whole thing that we put masks over. Even though they have different governments, everything is different, but yet they all agreed to do this whole global thing, right? Over what now we know, the whole 99.6 thing. And then, 0 cases of the other thing that usually happened every year.
Mm-hmm.
This is
but
like
mass increase of ash in the atmosphere.
That is really crazy to think of. Well,
unfortunately, some of this stuff that looks like they're trying to control everyone is kind of training you for a whole new life.
What a thought. And synthetic meat and getting people used to the idea of not having space. Oh my gosh, the World Economic Forum says...
Ice Age.
No, but they also said, in the future, you will have nothing and you will be happy.
Right.
That is so flippin' scary.
Right.
Why would they say that?
You will be happy to be alive. This is going to be hard.
Ding, ding, ding.
But everyone who's here living has a chance to make it. You make it through this, and there is not a single religious text or prophecy that does not talk about a coming golden age. This is bad, but it gets better.
Wow. Incredible. Kishara, thank you so much for calling in tonight. Again, I bet you that after tonight, people are going to say, hey, you need to start a channel. Do you have a channel, Kishara?
No. That's not my thing. I'm working on setting up a Earthship-based community in Colorado. No money involved, barter system only for preppers, because we got to get through this. We only get through it together.
Kishara, thank you so much for your call. I'm praying that everything that you do is done well, and that you have success in everything you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for calling Kishara, everyone. You can go to our website, marfooglenews.com, and access this call. You'll also be able to reference that call, Kishara, by searching using search bar on future episodes. You can always go back, and when you go to our website, you can reference any show and share it with somebody else. Make sure to check this out. If you don't go through us, then figure out something. But again, EMP Shield is a way to actually protect yourself. This is what I mentioned earlier. If you're new here, I think that everybody should be looking at this. If for some reason we had a natural solar flare that hit and knocked out our grid or knocked out our devices, or if we had an adversary send over an EMP, this is how militaries, this is how governments, this is the same company that has actually been contracted with DHS, DOD, and now the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. You can actually get the consumer version of these for yourself, for your car, for your house, for your solar system, for your ham radio. People don't think about that. For your generator at marfooglenews.com/EMP. And when you use this link, you will actually get $50 off per device, and it will combine with whatever sale they're running at that time. It's 100% American made, it's tested by Keystone, military tested, and it's a veteran-owned business. Not only that, it can protect you against lightning as well. If you're in the Midwest and have a ton of it, and fry everything all the time, this would be a good thing. It grounds the signal before it can fry your device, and in the end, I believe will either save lives or possibly save lives if we have this actually happen. Either way, we will have another CME like the Carrington event. It's just a matter of when, not if.
Feed the haters to the alligators. Your way or the highway, see you later. B.O.D. is the homie and Mr. Vader. If it wasn't for you, I would never made it. Whole city's covered by the cremated. Now they listen to what we were saying. Doesn't matter if the manufacturer or created. But now,